By the time I have 30 years in, I still be able to go have a second career.
Did you sign it?
One was
Good to go?
Don't get any ideas.
All right, everyone. All right, so good morning and Happy New Year, everyone. I want to welcome everyone back to our first Borough Cabinet meeting of the year. As most of you know, my name is Khalil Bragg, and I'm the Director of Community Boards for Queens Borough President Donovan Richards Jr. The VP sends his well wishes as he could not be here this morning because he is traveling to Albany. But I hope everyone enjoyed their holiday season. It took a little bit of time to hit the reset button. I want to thank our district managers and agency representatives who are with us this morning. Today we will receive a presentation from the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation. This morning's presentation will be on the Let's Green NYC initiative. This is a strategic initiative that aims to engage a record number of volunteers in city parks through the end of 2024. The Parks Department looks for diverse volunteer groups who actively care for green space and engage thousands of new volunteers to help enhance our parks and our city environment. Here to present on behalf of Queens Parks is the Chief of Staff, Miera Burkawa. Did I get okay? I did all right? And Deputy Chief of Operations, Matt Simmons. Welcome, Matt and Mayor. The floor is yours.
Hello, thank you for having us. So many of you actually should have already, if not, will be hearing from our park managers because we are coming to each of the community boards to give this presentation. So we can either give it to the Parks Committee or to the community board itself. So if you haven't heard from anybody afterwards, please let me know and we'll be in touch. Okay, so thank you for having us again. And as Khalil mentioned, this is a new initiative from the Parks Department. It's a strategic initiative to engage a record number of volunteers in city parks through the end of 2024. This is also a New York City Parks effort to improve the health and well-being of New Yorkers and their green spaces. So, why Green NYC? During the COVID-19 pandemic, parks became the central hub for human connection. Parks served as classrooms, gyms, offices, and places to meet, providing safe spaces for us to be together. We believe that by connecting New Yorkers to their local green and open spaces through volunteering, they will feel better about the city's future while improving their own mental and physical health. Okay, so through Let's Green NYC, NYC Parks is taking several steps to improve volunteerism. We're improving tracking, we're expanding equity, and that's through new volunteer resources. We've created a new volunteer page that makes it easier for individuals and groups to get matched to volunteer opportunities in our parks. It is easy to navigate and has an expansive list of impact categories so you can easily find something that matches your interests. We also created a group directory to help you connect with existing volunteer groups. Hundreds of groups work with our parks, and many of them are small grassroots groups actively looking for more volunteers. And lastly, we're enhancing our volunteer engagement by exploring new and exciting partnerships to increase volunteering in our parks while finding new resources to support this. So why should you volunteer in New York City Parks? New York City Parks has decades of experience in volunteering, and it is a pillar of what we do at the agency, from street trees to gardening to sprucing up playground equipment. We know how to plan events and make sure our volunteers have a meaningful experience. When you volunteer in a park, you're joining fellow New Yorkers, giving back to the community, you're meeting new people, and building your network. Also, we offer hundreds of volunteer opportunities around the city, and our new volunteer website makes it even easier for you to find an event and group that suits your interests. And it's great that we're coming today because, as we all know, next week is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is a day of service. So it would be wonderful if you can please help us spread the word and get people out for next week. We have a new website, as I mentioned, which can filter based on your interests. So you can do trail maintenance, kid-friendly volunteer events. So these are just some ideas of things that, to try and match people with the volunteer effort. And then this is the page for the volunteer groups. You can actually go on this website, see if there are any civic groups or any groups that you know of that might not be listed, and what's circled in red is at the bottom, there's a link that you can sign up your group, or the group that you know of that might want to be part of it, so that way they can increase their volunteers. So if you can please help us spread the word, tell community groups, civic groups that you work with about this initiative, and get in touch with us to help set up some volunteer events. And there's the website. I also have flyers. I can pass those out. So if you want, can I pass that out? So anyway, we're looking forward to working with everyone, and as I mentioned before, we're hoping to come to each of the community boards, and if we haven't reached out to you, please let me know, and somebody will be reaching out to you. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you, short and sweet. So before we begin, I want to remind everyone to please talk into the microphone once we begin this Q&A session. We have a couple of mics that are going around, so we can take any questions right now. And I also just want to recognize our Deputy Borough President, Ebony Young, is here with us as well. All right.
Right here.
Is there a minimum age requirement for volunteer?
There is not, but you can volunteer.
Any other questions? Yeah, that's usually a great time. So you did pretty well. So, okay, now we can go around the room and I'll recognize our agency representatives here. Ari, I know you had a few handouts. If you maybe want to start first, talk about the flyers that we have on the table.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Ari Gershman, he, him, New York City Department of Design and Construction. So first, taking a page from some of my sibling agencies, I brought kind of monthly statistics to give a snapshot of what's going on across the borough. So DDC has 117 active projects in Queens at this time. That includes 55 in design, 7 that are in front-end planning, which is the initiation phase, 13 in procurement, 42 in construction. Of the projects, 59 are infrastructure projects. That includes 9 water main, 14 storm sewer, 3 Vision Zero projects, and 58 are public buildings. That includes 10 cultural organizations and 23 libraries. And then Kalia was kind enough to prepare the newsletters. These are just 2 examples to give you an idea, since this is the start of the year, the first quarter. Our CCLs, our community construction liaisons on our infrastructure projects issue newsletters 4 times a year. So they're just issuing the first quarter newsletters now. So all of the district managers should be receiving those newsletters for the projects that are taking place in your districts. So just to give you an example of 2 that were recently issued. One is in Idlewild Park by JFK Airport, and the other is multiple locations in South Queens.
All right, thank you. Do we have any questions for Ari? Oh, Marie.
No question, just a comment. I just want to say that all the people that work, the CCLs under you, are doing a very good job of informing us, keeping, responding to us, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so we have reps from the mayor's CAU, we have DSS, we have DOT, Department of Buildings as well. Do we have any updates?
Hi, good morning. Sam Clark from DSS. To give you an update, as you know, there's 60-day notice for families with children with the asylees starts actually already. Today is the day for the first movement. That's a very fluid stuff. I guess CAU will be able to speak more to that. With city FEPS cases, I know you all have been calling up us and the elected officials regarding the city FEPS. They're backed up, but they're trying to move them special expedition schedule, And what we're doing is like they're doing a lot of overtime in order to rectify many of the city FEPs, the city FEPs renewal, those cases have changed the Medicaid MSP benefits and the SNAP recertification. All are on an expedited schedule now. We are trying our best to get it, so just be patient. We also like to have elected officials and for community board that when clients do come to you, that you can is an easy access. I have a couple shares here update that all of these things can be accessed on our Access HRA website, right? And just by clicking and uploading the stuff. Most of the time that we get these concerns are that when we really start to check it, we realize that the client had not completed the application or just would not return the documents that were required. But all in all, we are trying to move on. You know, the city's on a 5% cut, so be patient with us. Again, thank you all for all your cooperation with us as we fight this crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Do we have any questions for him? Oh, that's right.
Thank you. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have always had a limit regarding the shelter, but it was never enforced with families in the shelter.
Not really. This is not unique. This is not for new, well, or traditional DHS shelter. These are only for the asylees. Right. So let's be clear, clarify. Is that any clearer for you? That this 60-day event is only for the asylum seekers and not native New Yorkers in our traditional centers. Okay? Thanks.
You had another question, Ms. Ryder? Did you have another question? Oh. The mic's right there.
My question is, with the, and I know it's not just asylum seekers, the question is, the hardship with the parents when the children transfer from one school to another school. And also, I would say their school participation, their school record. Is that done properly, quickly?
With the schools, I think there have been a consultation. That's a DOE situation that you will deal with. I don't know if the CAU from City Hall has any update on that. They're the ones closer that can facilitate that message. So I'll defer here to Kevin.
Good morning, everyone. Kevin Morris, Queens Borough Director, Mayor's Community Affairs. So in reference to what we are doing with these schools, yes, we have been working very closely with the Department of Education to make sure that any students that are currently enrolled, they are maintaining being able to go to these schools that they've been zoned for. We have buses that are actually available at the shelters taking the kids to and from school. Now, in reference to the 60-day notice, yes, that expired for a lot of the shelters today. I want to make it very clear. We are not kicking them out of the shelters. We've been working very diligently with them for the last 60 days to try and identify family members in other states and other cities, places where they can go once they leave the shelter system. What happened is that today is the 60-day notice. They were given notice that they were to, for lack of a better term, vacate the shelter after the 60 days. For some of the families, unfortunately, that was not what happened. We are working very closely with all of our agencies to make sure that we are trying to provide adequate resources to these individuals. Unfortunately, it just hasn't worked the way that we had hoped. We are still getting a huge influx of migrants every day. I'm just hearing yesterday that we had some buses dropping off migrants at the 7-Eleven at the border of Long Island and Queens. So it's something that we're trying to figure out, and every day is presenting new challenges, but we're working on it.
Thank you, Kevin. We have a question? Oh,
Yeah, I know that the mayor's office, starting, I think last week, started emailing us the numbers on a weekly basis of the current state of the migrant crisis. Do you happen to have those numbers on you, Kevin?
I do not have them on me, but I can get that information.
Okay, because the DM started getting those emails this last week, so they've been helpful.
Absolutely. I'll make sure that we get that to you. Sorry. Any other questions about the migrants? Just one other quick update. We have a afternoon call with OEM in regards to the proposed storm that is happening today. As of course, as we always say, if you're experiencing any issues with the storms in your communities, please do reach out to us to let us know, and we will work as effectively as possible to address those situations.
Thank you, Kevin. Any other agency updates?
Hi, everyone's doing. Laquan Lloyd, Department of Buildings, Community Liaison for Queens, Community Boards 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. That's a lot. I'm going to pass these around. I have 3 updates. I have the building after hours for 2024, the schedule. I also have another service notice about if anyone in your community wants to speak to a plan examiner for a job they have. The in-person appointments are Wednesday only. Plan examiners will be in-person meetings for Wednesday only. And also we have a new service update for people who fail to obey with the vacant order they have received. So if you fail to obey a vacant order, you will be assessed a $6,000 penalty, civil penalty you have to pay, and that has to be paid in order to even lift the vacant order. You can do everything else, but if you don't pay the penalty, it won't be lifted. And if you got caught basically failing twice, that penalty will go up to $12,000. So I'm going to pass around these 3 service updates for all the community board members. Please pass around to your constituents.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for DOB? Please use this mic.
I would like to know if buildings touch base with the district manager before signing off on the after hours.
You said you want to know if the buildings department touches base with district managers before signing off after. What do you mean? The after hour variance or a after hour? I can find out the process. I know the process of someone applying for after hours variance. It goes through they apply for it. It goes through our teams, and I've dealt with a case, I believe in Community Board 5, where we've taken away someone's after hour variance because they were getting a lot of noise complaints. They were getting a lot of complaints of working and doing excessive noise. So we removed their after hour variance. So until they complied with the DEP noise regulations and other things. So if I could find out, do we send out notices to district managers, or can we send out notices to all the district managers about which jobs got after hour variances? But if you do come across a job that you get a lot of complaints and they've been issued the after hours variance, please let me know, because we can take that away from them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, just a quick question. In years past, every year or 2 years, there's been at times different embargoes on storefront awning permits, and then also time periods for buildings with violations on their awnings to correct them. Is there any news about any upcoming, or any talk about any upcoming program like that in the next year or so? Because we've been getting more of those kinds of complaints, both with the awnings and the roll-down gates lately.
So the roll down gates, from what I can tell you, there was a moratorium basically for, it was I think in 2019, if you got a roll down gate prior to that and didn't fix it up to the date, you could be issued a violation. But anything new had to comply with the new moratorium. I could find out about awnings. I don't think there is anything, but I'll find out. Which committee board are you again?
11.
All right, yeah. So if I don't do it, I'll make sure I tell Sam.
Okay, yeah, appreciate it, thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions? Comments, concerns? All right, I just also, thank you to my colleague Lisa, wanted to remind everyone that on MLK Day, we will also join Delta Airlines corporate team, NYC Parks, for a park cleanup. That would be on Monday, January 15th from 9 to 1 p.m. at Flushing Bay Promenade along the waterfront across LaGuardia Airport and Flushing Meadows Corona Park. Are we also taking volunteers for that?
It's a specific list of.
Specific list? Okay, never mind. We'll disregard that. Oh yes, Ari. You can pass the mic to Ari. Thank you.
Thank you. I forgot to mention one thing. I'm going to call upon the district managers to share information. We're having a career fair here February 1st in Helen Marshall Atrium for construction, trades, and careers. So I'm going to be sending out the flyer to all of the district managers. Please distribute it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ari.
That was actually a great reminder. We are also having a tech and innovation fair for those in the beginning and entry phases to tech, breaking barriers to entry tech fair and job fair at JCAL, which is Jamaica Center for, wait a minute, did I say that? JPAC, thank you. Jamaica Performing Arts Center in Jamaica, and this will be on January the 27th. I will send information out to you to get to everyone about that fair. It's free. It's going to have a lot of Google, Microsoft, those type of folks there. So telling your community folks, I think is really important. Thank you.
Thank you, DPP. And also, of course, I want to remind everyone that our community board applications are now live. It would be available for all reapplicants and new applicants until February 16th, which is a Friday, and the deadline is at 5 p.m. So please spread the word to your neighbors and your peers to apply. I will be getting the list out of board members who need to reapply, hopefully by today. And that's all I have right now. So our next Borough Cabinet meeting will be on Tuesday, February 13th at 9:38 a.m. Have a great rest of the day, everyone.
Thank you.